Now, I was actually just working on my character breakdown video, and I just saw that Dead City's first reviews came out. And I wanted to make a video on it because a lot of interesting reviews came out, and I've been waiting for these reviews, so let's get into it. Now, before we actually get into the video, I'd like to ask you all to like, share, and subscribe. And I've been getting a lot of nice comments lately from all of you, and we already made it halfway through that 1,000 subscriber goal, so thank you so much, all of you. And yeah, if you guys want to see more Walking Dead content, please like, share, and subscribe, and let's get to that 1,000 subscriber goal. Thank you. Now let's get into the video. Now let's actually check out the reviews. At first this morning I was hearing everywhere that, oh yeah, Dead City's getting good reviews, but I'm looking at it for myself, and the reviews are average, right? It's either in the 8s, 6s, or 5s, or in GameSpot's case, it's a 4 out of 10, which makes no sense whatsoever. But I didn't watch the show, so I can't really be the judge of that yet. So let's get into the good reviews first. Now, the first one I want to talk about was Rotten Tomatoes' score, and so far, at the time of this recording, it's at an 86%. And the similarities I'm seeing between all of these critic reviews is that it's a fresh start, right? It's a good theme, it's a good environment, in Manhattan and all of that, and it's an enjoyable start to this universe. It has two iconic characters, Negan and Maggie, and it puts them in this environment which is new, which is fresh, and it's not the same as it's been the past 10 years, right? It's totally new, which is great to hear, right? Because as Walking Dead fans, of course, we're excited for it, and we want to see this. We already know it's going to be awesome, but with reviewers, with critics saying this, it just gives more hope to it. And again, don't, if the reviews are good or bad, don't base your reviews, or don't base your perspective about this show based off reviews. It's your own opinion, right? If you think the show is good, the show is good. If you think the show is bad, then the show is bad. It's your opinion at the end of the day. Also, I'm seeing a similar theme when it comes to the praise about this show, which is good to hear, that this show seems like it's fresh, right? It's going in the right direction. It's the new chapter of The Walking Dead, and it gets these two iconic characters, it puts them in a fresh environment, a fresh setting, and they said that it's not the typical Walking Dead formula. You do have the same formula about killing walkers and this and that, but it's in this new setting and the new type of walkers. It makes it feel much better, which is, of course, it's good to hear that, right? It's amazing to hear that the direction that they took for the show is actually paying off. Also, I'm seeing a lot of people say good stuff about Negan's character, that he's going back to his old sense of humor, right, from season 7 and 8, and that's actually great to hear, because Negan was at his most entertaining back in those seasons, and also season 10, right? Season 10 Negan was insanely entertaining. I really liked season 10 Negan, and also season 7 and 8 Negan. Those iterations of Negan were just amazing, and I'm happy to hear that they're finally going back to that stage of Negan. But yeah, other than that, I'm seeing pretty good reviews. People are saying that it's one of the best things that came out of The Walking Dead, ever since the mainline show and its earlier seasons, season 5 and stuff like that. It's the best thing that came out, which of course is good to hear, right? It's good to hear that this show is fresh, it's new, it's, again, like how I said, everyone is in a new environment. Maggie and Negan are both in a new environment. They're being creative with this, with new walkers, new variants, and just the setting of New York and the way that they go around. It's really interesting to see that, and it's very fresh, and it's good to see that people are saying that it's one of the best things that came out of The Walking Dead. Now, with the good reviews, we actually get some bad reviews, right? And that's inevitable, right? It's how the industry is. It's not like everything's going to get 100 and 9 out of 10 and stuff like that. It's going to get some bad reviews, and it's understandable, right? People have their own opinions. Everyone has their own take on how they perceive the show. And yeah, let's get into it. GameSpot, they gave it a 4 out of 10. Now, GameSpot's review was a little too critical in my opinion, because you see the other reviews right there from a 6 to probably like a high 8, right? 6 to a high 8, right? So, and GameSpot just gave it a 4 out of 10, just straight up. And you know, they said that they're like, oh yeah, The Walking Dead's been running for so long, you know, it's unoriginal, it's going stale and stuff like that. And even I think I heard one, like the same review of GameSpot saying that like, oh yeah, it's a ploy for like, you know, for The Walking Dead fans to stay subscribed to AMC Plus, which again, I don't know how to take that, I don't know how to perceive that, right? Again, this guy has his own opinions, but in my opinion, he was a little too critical about it. And you know, just on a side note, for the people that are actually saying that The Walking Dead's been going on for too long, especially these reviewers, I'm seeing the same pattern, good or bad. A lot of these reviewers are saying that, oh yeah, The Walking Dead's been going on for 10 years, it's not dying, it doesn't want to die. But the thing is that The Walking Dead main show had to follow its source material, right? So if you realistically look at it, now they're actually getting some freedom, some creative freedom, right? Other than Fear the Walking Dead, which Fear the Walking Dead was a good example of AMC having their creative freedom and actually being good with it, right? So, but again, I'm saying that for the first 3 seasons of Fear. The rest of the seasons of Fear were good, but you know, they weren't great, right? They had a lot of weak moments in there. Now, like, you know, a lot of my friends actually do come up to me, right? Because I always talk about The Walking Dead and stuff like that. And they do come up to me and they're like, yo, The Walking Dead's been going on for so long, right? It's not dying yet, right? The show's getting stale. But again, like how I pointed out before, that the show had to follow its source material. It had to finish that story, right? From Rick waking up in that hospital all the way to the Commonwealth. It had to follow that story. It wasn't page for page, like, you know, a direct adaptation of the comics, but it had to complete that story. And if you really look at it, they done that, right? They all 11 seasons, they took their time to complete that story. Yeah, they added some extra stuff, right? Like, you know, how like the Reapers were, right? The Reapers were totally original, and I think, in my opinion, if the Reapers were like just not in the show whatsoever, or if they gave them their own season, which was their own original plan, right? They wanted the Reapers to be one whole season, but they couldn't because of COVID and the show ending. But you know, if they just took out the Reapers in general and just followed the Commonwealth story, right? If they just went with the Commonwealth story, right, and built upon that more, I think season 11 would have been much better. Because in my opinion, the last half of season 11 was really good, but the first half was kind of weak, right? I didn't like the first half of season 11, but the second half, like the third part especially for season 11, was really good. Now let's actually get into the intro for this show, and I actually saw this on TikTok earlier today. I don't know if it's up on YouTube or if they're removing it, and I don't want to show it on this. I don't even want to show a screenshot because I don't know how the copyright works for that. So again, I'm going to keep it out, but you can search it up if you want to. And just at first glance, I really like the intro, right? It's going back to the Walking Dead feel. It's kind of similar to like how season 11's intro was with you know, the jittery frame rates and stuff like that, and you know, just the walkers running around. And I really like that aesthetic of New York, like, you know, the orange sunset feel of it also. And you know, the theme is good. I really do like this intro, and it's not like Fear the Walking Dead or World Beyond, right? This one actually has a real theme, and it's really nice. I really do like it. I like the aesthetic. I like how they show everything in New York, like, you know, the Statue of Liberty and, you know, Times Square. It's a really good intro. I really do like this intro for this show. Now, what are my final thoughts when it comes to the reviews? I do like the praise that this show is getting, right? It's a step in the right direction, and I think our fears are kind of put to rest, but not totally, right? Because again, it's our own opinion at the end of the day. It's how the fan base takes it, so we can't trust these reviewers all that much if it's good or bad reviews. But it's nice to see this show getting good reviews, right? Because I was expecting when I woke up, because The Walking Dead gets so much flack, right? People hate on The Walking Dead, in my opinion, right? Everywhere I see, people just don't like it. So I was expecting, like, you know, a 40% of Rotten Tomatoes, but you know, it's pretty good seeing it have an 86% of Rotten Tomatoes. The GameSpot review still kind of disturbs me, right? It's, in my opinion, it looks like he's just bashing on The Walking Dead. Perceive it as you will. I really don't know, but you know, to me, it just looked like he was bashing on it. And the IGN review was just average, right? You can't really say anything about the IGN review, right? But again, at the end of the day, it's our own opinion, right? You can't go with reviewers, right? You can't just make your opinion based off reviews on something you didn't even watch yet. So again, let's just see for ourselves. Now, what are my final thoughts before getting into the show? With all the promotional material and the trailers and everything like that, how good do I think that the show is going to be? And personally, I think the show is going to be really good, right? That could be my bias speaking, or it's just because I'm a big Walking Dead fan, but I personally do think that the show is going to be really good. It's just going to be a fresh new take on these characters, right, in a new environment. It's going to have Negan and Maggie, two iconic legacy Walking Dead characters, in this new setting. So again, it feels similar to the Walking Dead that we're used to, plus in a brand new environment with new walkers, with a new villain, but also that villain is linked with the past of the Walking Dead. To me, that's a very cool idea. Now, another thing I want to point out is that we don't know what's going to happen in this show, right? With the Walking Dead main series, we always had an idea what's going to go down, how the arc is going to end, right? The Whisperer arc, how's that going to end? How's the Negan arc going to end? How's the Commonwealth arc going to end? Which character is going to die in what way? We all kind of had a rough idea on what's going to happen, and we for sure knew how it was going to end in general. But with this show, it's their choice, right? They don't have to adapt any comic, right? It's their own creation. So for all we know, right, this season could just end off with like a CRM helicopter coming down and taking someone, or something like that, or just like a bunch of CRM helicopters, or just CRM soldiers, right, or just anything else, right? We could just see Morgan pop in, or we could see Daryl, or we could see Ezekiel, right? We could realistically see any of that. So again, that's the thing that probably gets me excited the most, is that we don't know what's really going to happen, right? Because again, with the main series, we always base those off the comics, right? Like, oh yeah, like I remember there was a lot of speculation going on who's going to get Dwight's death in season 11, and it turned out that Leah got that death of Dwight. But I remember it was like a huge speculation, is all like moment for everyone that, oh yeah, Gabriel or Aaron were going to get that Dwight death, right? Or Gabriel was going to go crazy, right? He was going to start saying a bunch of bad stuff to Pamela Milton, and then Daryl would be forced to shoot him in the head, or Aaron would be forced to shoot him in the head. Everybody thought that, but it was really fun to speculate about that. But when it comes to this show, we of course don't know what's going to happen, which is the most interesting part. And again, that just feels fresh right off the bat. So yeah, let's just see how this show goes, right? I personally, my final verdict is that it's going to go good, right? The show is going to be good. It's going to be entertaining, and it's going to be good for the Walking Dead fans, right? It's not going to be like a Fear or World Beyond situation. And when I say Fear, I mean the later seasons of Fear. I don't mean the first 3 seasons of Fear. First 3 seasons of Fear are so good that they're even comparable to the Walking Dead main series. But the later seasons of Fear, they were pretty weak. World Beyond was pretty weak. Tales of the Walking Dead was weak. So I don't think that we're gonna get that situation here. It's because of the characters that they have at their disposal, right? They have like 2 iconic Walking Dead characters. They can't screw this up, right? So again, I think that this is going to be good. Now, that's it for today's video. I'd like to ask you all to like, share, and subscribe. And, I know that this video is pretty different from my other videos, but I just want to give my thoughts about these reviews, and, just my thoughts about this whole Dead City situation when it came to the early reviews. And, personally, I think they went pretty well. So again, like, share, and subscribe, and we are halfway there to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate the support you all are giving me. I started about like a month ago, and I'm already at 537, I believe, subscribers now, counting it. And again, it's just insane. I'm really appreciating like the support you guys are giving me for these Walking Dead videos. And again, if you're new, please like, share, and subscribe if you guys want to see more Walking Dead videos. Now, thank you, and you guys could also expect a review for episode 1 of Dead City, and also I'm working on my character breakdown. I was just working on it, but then I was like, nah, I gotta make this Dead City video. I gotta make a review on this. So yeah, now I'm gonna be getting back to this character breakdown video. And also comment down, who do you think I'm making a video about? And whoever gets it right will get a shout out in my next video. Now, other than that, thank you so much for watching.